Hello fellow songsters and welcome to the Ben Aaron Show. This week I listened to nothing but David Bowie and tried to write a song in a similar rock style. Now if you're unfamiliar with David Bowie, he had a string of numerous hits throughout many decades, including one of his first big hits, Space Oddity. Ground control to Major Tom. And one of my wife's favorites, Is There Life on Mars? And of course, Ziggy played guitar. And for a great introduction to David Bowie, you should really get one of his compilation albums. This one here I got, it's just the singles from 1969 to 1993. It's a great introduction, and you've probably would recognize most of the songs on here. But if you want something a little more challenging, a little more substance, something to chew on, get his individual albums. Now my favorite David Bowie songs are the ones that have the coolest riffs on the guitar, but I'm a little biased because I'm a guitar player. But think of Rebel Rebel. I just love that riff. And then there's also Ziggy Stardust, which is very guitar driven. So I wanted my song to have a guitar chorus almost. Like the chorus is not any words, but actually the guitar riff itself. So this is what I came up with after listening to David Bowie for a week. It goes... There we go. That's the intro, the chorus, and the outro. David Bowie had a great mind for writing melody, but his words were really unique and almost strange to a degree, which really got me thinking, how did he write these crazy lyrics? One possible answer that came to me was through an interesting YouTube video where David Bowie actually cut up old lyrics, reorganized them, and sort of came out with new ideas for a song. And he called it the cut-up technique, which has been used by many different artists through literature and songwriting and even filmmaking. I think this is the perfect technique for coming up with ideas that you could never imagine on your own. It ignites creativity, and it might be the best cure for writer's block, if you believe in that sort of thing. What I did was I found an old page of brainstorming ideas that I had for lyrics that I wrote last year. I made a copy of that page and then I cut up each line into about 3 or 4 word segments, and then I spent an hour trying to fit those segments into lines. In the beginning, I tried to make each line rhyme with another line, but near the end, I didn't have enough words that rhymed. And I promised myself that I wouldn't add any words, but in retrospect, I would recommend adding words to either make the lines make a little bit more sense or to have the lines rhyme. It just is a little bit better songwriting. The idea here is to have the listener create images in their heads and to have that nonsensical lyrics be interpreted in a totally different way for each listener. It's kind of a weird phenomenon, but you can have this image in your head of what you think the lyrics mean, and someone else has a totally different story, and it's a really unique experience of trying to write a song. So without any further ado, here's my brand new original song inspired by David Bowie called Cut Up Poem. Please enjoy the following.
from the music, Mr. Debt Collector. Your older brother is quite the trendsetter. I suppose I've got time, but the truth really is not something you read in handheld devices. Parents' philosophies of someone being shot in the celebrity protest streets. It's not. It's a million different neurons planning all your past. Might repeat a mistake, hey man, what streams do cast? It's what's happening when you hang on in a headline violin in unison. The only truth haven't been to you. Stop every word, it's what you prices so sure. You know it's not a march on your friend's shelf. It's not the long story, what we're thinking now. It's what's happening when you hang on in a headline vibrant in unison. The only truth hasn't been to you. Well, stop every word, it's what you
Hey, thanks for listening to my brand new original song. Cut Up Poem will be available on my upcoming album Earth, to be released in the summer of 2018. Until then, you can download my other albums, Clubs, Hearts, Spades, and Diamonds over at benaaronmusic.com. And very shortly, we're also going to have a Best of Season 2. It's going to be called Four of a Kind, and it's just 4 different songs from the 4 different albums that I made last year. And it's going to be a pretty good, solid list of songs. And also, don't forget to leave a comment for me to sing like these beautiful comments from last week's video.
I love the anagram like the spirit of the dose. Gosh, that is so cool, awesome video band. Groovy, we all need some more doors and s'mores. Definitely has the spirit of Jim Morrison. My friends and I mostly had intense crushes on the Lizard King. The wife is getting into the groove. Your original song is very much fitting. The Style Riders on the Storm is a funny one.
Hey, thanks for the comments and the love, everybody. Well, today I hope you learned a little bit about David Bowie, and maybe I inspired you to create your own original song. And maybe you should try using that cut-up technique where you cut up the lyrics and just see what comes out of it. And until next week, when I'm going to be doing the Steve Miller Band, this is Ben Aaron telling you to keep on practicing and get out there and play. Oh!